Welcome to our channel, where we'll show you how to retire rich or at least retire with enough money to buy a really nice rocking chair. The IRS, Internal Revenue Service, is the government agency responsible for enforcing tax laws and collecting taxes. As a taxpayer, it's important to understand your rights and responsibilities when it comes to dealing with the IRS. However, it's also important to understand that the IRS is not always perfect and that mistakes can happen. In this video, we're going to be discussing a recent article from Forbes about the IRS and the clumsy taxpayer. The article explains that the IRS has a system in place for dealing with taxpayers who make mistakes on their tax returns. These mistakes can range from simple mathematical errors to more serious issues such as underreporting income. The IRS has a system in place for dealing with these mistakes called the Self-Correction Program, SCP. The SCP allows taxpayers to correct mistakes on their tax returns without facing penalties or fines. However, the article also points out that the IRS can be very aggressive in their enforcement actions against taxpayers. They can issue fines and penalties, and even seize assets. The article cites an example of a taxpayer who made an innocent mistake on their tax return and was hit with a $50,000 fine. The article also points out that the IRS can be very slow in resolving disputes. The tax appeals process can take months or even years, and during that time, taxpayers may be required to pay interest and penalties on any taxes owed. This can put a significant financial burden on taxpayers, especially those who are already struggling financially. The article concludes by stating that the IRS is not always the enemy and that taxpayers should not be afraid to seek help when dealing with the IRS. There are many resources available to taxpayers, including tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and certified public accountants. These professionals can help taxpayers navigate the tax system and resolve disputes with the IRS. In conclusion, it's important for taxpayers to understand their rights and responsibilities when it comes to dealing with the IRS. The IRS has a system in place for dealing with mistakes on tax returns, but it can also be very aggressive in its enforcement actions. Taxpayers should not be afraid to seek help when dealing with the IRS, as there are many resources available to them. Remember, the IRS is not always the enemy, and sometimes mistakes happen. If you have any doubts or questions, it's always best to consult with a professional. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more financial and tax insights.